page 83, 84, and 85. Cherokee Shuffle. Still capo 2. And for this discussion of Cherokee Shuffle, I'll be skipping page 83 and 84, so turn to page 85, the up the neck melody for Cherokee Shuffle. I'm going to start playing it from the beginning, measure 39, and I'll play straight forward until I get between measure 41 and 42, the last two measures on the line, where some major stuff has to happen, and that continues on into measure 43 on the second line. After that, things level off a bit. I'll give a count. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Nine, ring at 12, then move your ring finger to 14, index at second string 12, you have to shift down the 4th fret. Now here, bring your ring finger up to 10th fret, 2nd string. Then on the next line, that should form a bar on those two strings, 2nd and 1st. Then the bar stays for the next two notes, 10 on 1st, 10 on 2nd. Open 5th string. After that, things level off and it's mostly up and down stuff from there till the end of part A. So let me go right to measure 41 this time, where you're in a pretty normal position. That's the 10th and 9th frets on the second and 1st strings. I'll count off measure 41 without saying anything. I'll play through it. Hopefully you can follow these fretting hand fingerings for yourself. Measure 41, third measure in. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... ring finger. And then you'd be going back to the A part. Now, in the B part, things are pretty normal for a while until the last measure on the first line of the B part. That's officially measure 50, if you do the math. Now, in measure 50, I'm going to, bless my soul, I made a mistake that I cannot retract at this time. And the book has been published. These fingerings that are in measure 50 should have read, not ring mid, if you're looking at measure 50 right now, should have read mid end, which on the next line at measure 51 it says mid bar. That would go to make sense because your mid finger would be at the 2nd string 10th fret. And so if on the next line it says mid bar, that's just a matter of rocking back your middle finger to bar the first two strings, 1st and 2nd strings at 10th fret at measure 51. There's other ways you can handle that. If you stuck with my so-called mistake in measure 50 of ring mid, right here, then you would bar with your ring finger on measure 51, 10, 10, there. So you'll have to find your way through those particular mistake spots. Sorry about that. Now, the rest of it after measure 51 is pretty much not much of a problem. Just, again, up and down scale movement or holding down a bar here and there. So now, let me jump to the ending on page 85. So that is where it says ending, stop, chords, tacit. The third measure in on the second to last line. To be specific, to be more specific, measure 57. Ending 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, this little lick here on the last line comes right out of Waterfall Creek back on page 71. So if you worked out that song, this shouldn't be much of a problem. There's that fifth note of the measure where the thumb comes inside to the second string. Here is the count off of measure 59, last line. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Rest. That rest gives you plenty of time to set up your F-shaped C chord at frets 8, 9, and 10. You just pluck that, shift back, bar the 7th fret plus the pinky at 9th fret for a B minor chord form in the bar shape, and then shift that back to frets 5 and 7 for an A minor chord form in the bar shape, and then back another 2 frets to the G F-shaped chord at frets 3, 4, and 5 to end the tune. So now I'll play the entire ending back at measure 57. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Rest, 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 rest. So on the next track, we'll do the full playthrough of Cherokee Shuffle, all 3 pages.